Hello and welcome back to my fragrance channel, A Room with Perfume. Today I have kind of a haul. There's been a lot of new releases lately. I've just gotten some new things, so I'm going to go over the new additions to my collection, the new releases, and let you know what I think. For disclosure, this was all sent in PR, but as always, you will get my complete and total honest opinion regardless. So here we go. First, the new Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato. This has just been the most buzzed about fragrance. I feel like everyone has a different opinion. People were expecting maybe something that they didn't get. So I am going to spray these on test strips just because these are newer. It's not a first impression. I've worn all of these at least once, but I feel like since I'm not as familiar with them, I kind of want to spray them just to refresh. This one, I actually, even though I didn't expect to like it, if I'm perfectly honest, I adore Mona. She's awesome. But I didn't expect to like this fragrance because I'm not really a gourmand girl. I don't like heavy gourmands. I don't like super sweet fragrances generally. And the notes on this, the notes that are on the back of the bottle are pistachio gelato, hazelnut, sweet rum, whipped cream, marshmallow, and cotton candy. There are a host of other notes that are actually in this. And what I actually think that you get a lot in the opening that maybe surprised people is the bergamot that's not listed on the back of the bottle but is in the fragrance on the longer list of notes. And I think it starts out with that bergamot, and I think it was just all over fresher than people were expecting. One thing that people were saying though that I didn't get at all was they were describing it as smelling like shaving cream at first. Like, what shaving cream? But anyway, as this dries down, I loved it. I think it is so beautiful. It starts out a little bit more fresh and crisp and bright. I think this is the perfect summer gourmand. As it dries down, it reminds me of the Starbucks pistachio sweet cream like cold foam, which I love. It is my actual obsession. I also literally daily will make a latte with pistachio milk, and I feel like it has that vibe as well. So it's not a really nutty fragrance. It doesn't smell like actual pistachios. It smells like a pistachio flavored, creamy, but not super lactonic. I wouldn't say it's a very lactonic fragrance. It's a bit creamy, it's fluffy. It does get sweeter and more warm as it dries down, but I think this is the perfect spring and summer gourmand, or if you're like me, just a gourmand for people that don't love really heavy gourmands. I also just think that the bottle is absolutely stunning. I think this one's gorgeous. I was very pleasantly surprised because I just didn't expect to really love it, and I really like it. So this one, I'm a big fan. Highly recommend sampling when this comes out. I think it's actually in Sephora on the 21st, the 20th, 21st, something like that. The next one is also a new release from Ellis Brooklyn. Now, I love Ellis Brooklyn Myth. That is by far my favorite fragrance from them. I use it all the time. I've gone through multiple bottles. But I haven't found a lot of other fragrances from them that I have really loved. And this one I like but don't love. I'm going to spray it on the test strip. And I think part of... I got this one, and then shortly after I got Nasamato's Narcotic V. And I think that this one suffered by comparison. Also, for some reason, the sprayer on this one is like a, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it's like a stream. I got Narcotic V right after I got this one, and I think it's just Florist is suffering by comparison because this isn't quite dried down yet. Because it's just not quite as interesting. Narcotic V, they're both white florals. They both have tuberose and like gardenia, I think, and lilies and jasmine. So because of that direct comparison, I just feel like this smells a lot more, I don't want to say basic because there is nothing wrong with a fragrance that smells like just good and doesn't smell that innovative, but for some reason, this one is a like, not a love for me. I do like it though. but I wouldn't say I would necessarily go for this one if I was going for this scent profile. It honestly actually reminds me a bit of Chanel Gabrielle Essence, but I much prefer Chanel Gabrielle Essence. It is very nice. It's very pretty. It's a bit citrusy. I like the honeysuckle in it. There's honeysuckle and gardenia, which I think can be kind of polarizing, but I think they're done nicely in this. It's really pretty. I feel like I keep saying that, but I think there are others in this scent profile that I maybe prefer more. However, I will say I think that the bottle is so fun. I love the bright pink bottle. Okay, next one we'll go with the new releases first. So the last new release is the new 7 Virtues Coconut Sun. To preface, I am not a coconut person in fragrance generally, unless I'm on vacation. If I'm at the beach, I'm like in the mood for a coconut fragrance. There's almost no other time that I'm really in the mood to smell like coconuts for some reason. It just like in my head is relegated to vacations. But this is really nice as far as coconut goes. I think I don't like overly sunscreeny coconut fragrances, because that's when it very much for me is like, okay, this is only wearable at the beach, and I do enjoy them sometimes, but like literally only at the beach. But this one's almost a coconut water. Like, it's a lighter coconut to me. I don't get a ton of that sunscreeny quality. It also has jasmine in here. It almost comes off a little bit sustainably sourced jasmine from Egypt and upcycled orange flower. I was almost getting a little bit of like a sea salt vibe from this. I don't know if that's what's in it, but it definitely does have almost a watery quality. And not watery as in the fragrance is watered down, but a watery quality. And I really like this one. I did wear this the other day for the first half of the day and really enjoyed it. So I think as far as a new coconut release goes, I really think that they did a really beautiful job here. The next 4, the last 4, are not new releases, but they're new to my collection. So, okay, this one I'm in love with. Andrea Maack's Lightsource. It has petitgrain, lemon, jasmine and rose, I believe, pink pepper, black pepper, and fig. And really what I mainly get from this is that petitgrain, the lemon, and the fig. This is a beautiful, bright citrus fragrance with absolutely insane longevity. This lasts so well. Anytime I'm trying to test the longevity of a fragrance, I will spray it at night and see if I can still smell it in the morning. And I sprayed this one in the evening, and in the morning, it smelled like I just sprayed it, a couple hours before. It lasted so well on my skin, and it's a very uplifting, bright, happy citrus fragrance. I feel like, I don't know, it smells, I feel like I get this vibe of like being in your kitchen and maybe you've just, there's like sunlight streaming in and it's pretty and it's a springy day and maybe the door's open to the garden. You've just cut fresh flowers maybe and you're cutting some lemons. Maybe you're gonna bake something and it just smells, there is a little bit of like a garden quality, a fresh air quality. I don't know. I'm not doing a very good job describing this in ways that actually tell you what it smells like. But you get the vibe. There is a touch of that fig. It's not a really creamy fig or milky fig like Philosopus. I'd say it's a bit more on the fresh side. I think this is one of the most gorgeous and actually unique, fresh, citrusy fragrances that I have tried in quite some time. I'm so impressed. The other one that I fell in love with from this line was Dual, which is this like mix of being fresh and crisp and also warm and gingery and a bit sweet. So I absolutely fell in love with it. I drained my sample in a very short amount of time, and so that one is also on the way to me. I'm very excited. And then there was a few others. I really liked Soft Tension as well. It actually almost reminded me a little bit of Ellis Brooklyn Myth. It was a very like soft, musky, floral. Ceramic was also interesting, but it smelled a little bit too much like laundry musk to me. But if you love a like laundry-like scent, ceramic is a beautiful interpretation of that, I think. Next, we've got 2 scents from the Harmonist. They sent over a beautiful, beautiful package with like a marble perfume tray. It was absolutely gorgeous. When I was on my honeymoon, our hotel was right next to the Harmonist boutique in Paris. So I got to kind of explore their scents, explore the boutique, and kind of find out the ideas and concepts behind a lot of their scents. And I just think they're such a thoughtful brand, and I think that a lot of their scents are really unique. I feel like they're very underrated as a house. And the one that I very much fell in love with was Yin Transformation. This, I am gonna spray it. Notes are Calypso Orchid, Mandarin, Bulgarian Rose, Almond Milk, Ylang Ylang. Am I saying that right? I feel like I always mispronounce that. Iris, White Musk, Sandalwood, and Benzoin. And I feel like the almond milk note is so interesting. I don't think I'd ever tried a fragrance with an almond milk note. The general effect of this fragrance is a light, fresh, lightly powdery, soft, delicate floral. It's just very soft and idyllic smelling. I feel, I don't even know how to describe it. It is very fresh. I know that's not in the notes, but I almost get a hair of like a lychee quality, which I love lychee. I don't know what would be smelling like that to me. Maybe it's the mandarin. But this is just a beautiful, delicate floral. It smells ethereal and just gorgeous. I love the slight powderiness that's in here. And it almost does have that almond milk, almost gives it, you know how like, not a creamy in a lactonic way, but creamy as in like a body lotion kind of way. I think it's beautiful. I think it is so, so pretty. Definitely my favorite from the brand. Then we have another one from the Harmonist. This is Guiding Water. This one I do really like. I don't love it as much as Yin Transformation, but it is a beautiful aquatic ozonic floral. I'm gonna spray it. Notes are watermelon, aquatic notes, violet leaves, lotus flower, jasmine, leaves flower, pink peppercorn, white musks, and I don't actually know how to pronounce this. Cyclamen? Okay, I should have looked up pronunciation of these things prior to filming, but oh well. Please forgive me for any mispronunciations. This one is very pretty. I do get that almost melon-like quality in the opening. It is quite aquatic and ozonic to me. I think I like this one more on the opening, and then as it dries down, although I really enjoyed it, something about it just didn't feel as unique to me as Yin Transformation. But still, in its own right, a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I think it is lovely. I just fell in love with Yin Transformation, but if you love your ozonic aquatic florals, I think that this is a beautiful version of that. It definitely does smell very springy, very summery even, especially with those watermelon notes and the aquatic notes. It's very fresh, and I will say for both of these, at least on my skin, they have great longevity, so awesome, awesome fragrances for a long-lasting summer, fragrance, and as well as the Andrea Maack. I feel like all of these, if you're wanting something that's light and fresh but still lasts, all three of these are great options. And lastly, Clean Reserve's Citron Fig. I don't believe that this is a new fragrance. It is just new to me. I think this one, something about it, I'm gonna give it a spray. Something about this one reminds me of like spending a summer evening in the garden when like fireflies are just starting to flit around. I don't know why this one gives me such a strong mental picture, but it like smells like my childhood in a bottle. I don't know what about this. It has a touch of a green quality. There's also some ginger. It's a little bit almost herbal and aromatic, but in a really likable, wearable way. And then there obviously is that lemon in here. There's fig. I absolutely think this is just, it's so pretty and nostalgic smelling. I'm not probably doing a very good job of describing it, but I think it is really, really beautiful. It does have, you do get that ginger, and as it dries down, on the skin, more warmth comes out from the ginger. So it's simultaneously very fresh, but has a little bit of that warmth and almost spiciness, a very, very mild spiciness. It does have kind of that herbal quality as well, and I just think it's so pretty. I get the picture of like being out in the garden. It's like twilight, being out in the yard, and it's a summer evening, it's warm, it's a little balmy, and you can just smell all the like greenery around you, and fireflies are just starting to like peek out. That's the vibe. And that is it, y'all. That is my recent additions to my fragrance collection. Let me know down in the comments if there are any videos that you would like to see from me, any requests. Thank you so much for watching if you got through this video, and I will see you in the next one.